my name is Meadow. My daughter Bethany, we are Wild Meadows Rabbitry. We've been raising woolies since 1990. 93 for her, but 90 for me. I really want to dispel the myth of they are not just a fuzzy dwarf. There are characteristics in woolies that make woolies woolies. Our main three, our head, our rise, and our texture of our wool. There are a couple of things that go in with body type that I'll mention that are the main characteristics of our woolies. So the first being the head. Woolies should have a very wide head from top to bottom and side to side. If they cut in at their eyes, you're going to get that pinched in look, and if they're narrowed down at the muzzle, you're going to get the triangle look. It is accentuated by the wool cap. It is not the wool cap. So make sure that you push that wool cap up to properly evaluate the structure of the skull. You want the same width at the base of the ears as down in the muzzle. You've heard mug head. It's not in the standard, but that's what it should be. The accentuation of the wool cap when viewed from the side should look square. It should look like a big square head. If we go on to posing the woolly. In the standard, woolly calls for a high head mount. When high head mount is mentioned, dwarves and Hollands are automatically what pops into the mind. It does explain in the standard where the head mount should be by defining that eye should be in line with the high point over the stifle. So that's telling you exactly where the head should be. If you overpose, if you lift too high, it can often make them look much shorter, but the high point is below the eye. If you try to push them down or just let them be down, if they're properly structured, they don't want to be. Again, the high point is above the eye. So we tried in the standard to get a clear definition of where the head mount should be. Eye in line with the high point over the stifle, and as Josh pointed out earlier, it is a compact breed. Front toes to the eye, back toes to the stifle, little box, eye to the high point. A lot of times when you pose too high, and it does make that rabbit look short. Let me rephrase that, I'm sorry. A lot of times when the rabbit wants to pose too high, that's because that high point is too far forward. It's going to give it an impressive front-looking front end, but it will not put the eye in line with the high point, and it will often peak early and slope off. So woolies should be resting lightly on their feet, not posed up and not posed down. Lightly on their feet to get that eye in line with the high point. Jersey woolly top lines have a rise. It starts from right behind the head, it peaks above the stifle at the high point and rounds down the table to a full 9/4. That's different from dwarves. Dwarves don't have a rise. A level top line is a fault in a Jersey woolly. So that's also something that you see with a higher head mounted wool is a level top line. You don't get that beautiful rounded rise in the wool. Some woolies, even though the rise starts right behind the ear, they can have too much of a dip in the neck. But because you're thinking high head mount, they do have a slightly slower spot right behind the ears, which they have to get the rise. So excessive would be a dip, but just because it's a little lower there than the high point doesn't mean it's a dip. The wool on a Jersey woolly. The whole purpose of the Jersey woolly is to be a small, cute, well-tempered, easy care wool pet. Whole point. It's like the Japanese chin or the Shih Tzu of the dog world. Texture is the most important thing in a Jersey Woolly coat. 17 points on texture, 10 points on density, 0 points on length. As long as it's over the 1.5 minimum, it can be 1.5 inches, it can be 3 inches, 5 inches, as long as it's proper. Texture, what is it? You need to feel it. Jersey Woolly coats need to be felt, and that texture you want to feel it drag across your hand. I try to explain it, it's like fine sand particles between your fingers when you're rubbing the guard hairs. And the guard hairs is what makes the texture. Yeah, they should extend well past the underwool. They should be full of life. If you brush it up, it should, molting. It should drape back down over the underwool. The underwool is to lift the coat away. The guard hairs fall down to create that look and prevent matting. That's the most important point. That is what texture does. It helps you prevent that matting. Yeah. It would be, if I never heard too harsh again, I'd be very happy, because they should be, you should really, really feel that texture. So thin guard hairs makes it too soft. It can keep it from matting, but it'll be too soft. It won't have any rip or grab. A dead coat, they're still gonna feel sandy, but they'll feel dry and brittle. So you just want a nice, alive, flowy, sandy feeling coat. Juniors, I do want to mention, they are allowed to have a softer texture than a senior coat, because one of the key factors though with woolies is balance. Overall balance is a key factor. Their point structure is technically broken down into 3 parts. About a third on head, about a third on body, and about a third on wool. Now, if you combine head and body, that does put more emphasis towards type, which is true and fair. But the preference should be given to a very well-balanced animal. So we just want a full, well put together, well-rounded, well-balanced animal. And one other thing I want to mention, woolies have taper, or don't. So it doesn't have to be extreme. It does say nearly as wide as the hind quarter, but nearly, not exactly. So that's about it. That's a Jersey Woolies in a nutshell. Do you have any questions?